out of Ottawa. I do Benable. And so this is my reintroduction, and over live on TikTok because I do lives on Monday and Wednesday. Monday at 11 a.m. and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you ever want any information, stop in. Feel to ask questions on any of my content. I feel like my playlists over on TikTok, you could go down a whole rabbit hole. Most people don't go down the rabbit hole, but you can definitely go down the rabbit hole over on TikTok. That being said, my tutorials on Monday are really my exciting thing of showing what Benable looks like. I go through kind of any questions that come through on the chat, but I also show you guys what I'm doing, why it matters to me, and kind of the things that I see happening over on Benable, even like the insider information that I see on their public facing platforms. So let's get into that. I haven't actually checked Instagram yet, and I will while we're here. But I'm going to turn this camera around so that you can see what the heck I'm doing. TikTok is using TikTok Studio, so they should be fine. And we're going to get into this tutorial. So you guys can see what is going on here. And if you have any questions, please let me know as we go through this process. Now, this is my Benable account. Hi, Kyle Grant. Thank you for the heart me. So my Benable account has had a big following stuff, and I followers in, but a lot of what attributes to this is me following people over on my discovery feed and going through and daily engaging, well, almost daily. I go through about 2 to 3 times a week on my dashboard. And one of the things I do to engage with people is anybody that has a Benable bubble, thank you, Alicia, for the hurt me, is somebody that I'll go and check out their profile. I'll go into their list, who's following them. The reason why I see who's following them is that it tells me who potentially is active. A lot of people on Benable actually create an account and then they never go into it again. So people who are following others are usually people that are going to be a little bit more active. Whenever I go into any of these lists, I try to find a list that I really like so that it helps my algorithm. But also, I try to find, like if it's a new person who has a new account, I try to find a list that has more than a certain amount of items in the list, because you need to have 15 to 21 items to optimize your list. And so if I then put engagement on a good list, it's going to get more push out. The one thing that I struggle doing is commenting. So I'm trying to be better at that, of trying to comment. Now, one of the big questions that I have in my head with Benable right now is the algorithm has changed. And it changed a couple of months ago in the sense, because they announced this, that it changed in the sense that when they push to the discovery feed, they're now looking at everything that you click as your algorithm. So what does this mean? It means that the lists that you post are going to go to people who also have similar attraction to those lists. So what I'm seeing, which is a little bit frustrating for me, what I'm seeing is that my Christmas lists aren't getting a lot of push out. And that's not to say that they're not exciting or that, we're in the season. I think that's exactly attributed to that people are looking for toys or things that they are attracted to, like the mommy fit or the tools. Like they're searching for things, they're clicking on things that they like, and that's not necessarily Christmas, right? We're now in this stage as well where we're coming up to the season. So one of the things that I would say right now, I'm kind of like on the ditch effort right now. And what I mean by that is that when I look at my account right now, effectively December 15th, we're halfway through the month, I'm not hustling to do Christmas. I hustled to do my Christmas list the first week of December. Now I'm like, Venable Gods, you do what you need to do. Make that happen, right? It's into the ether. Now what I'm looking at, and the reason why I'm doing that is because as we get closer to like Christmas, shipping like is an issue all across the board. All across the board. So when people are going into these lists, what they're effectively doing is finding last minute items. They're looking at other things. They're going into the new year. We're already, looking at, just stuff in general for the new year. And that's what I want to lean on. One of the lists that I have is the holiday party outfit ideas. And why this list is something that I want to kind of focus on adding to or like touching up coming workshop on Wednesday is because my throat is dying. Is because that goes into the new year, right? So holiday party outfit doesn't just like learn into the Christmas, it goes into the holiday new year. Some other ideas that would be great for people to start doing over on Benable is like dinner party lists, even like get together, like atmosphere lists, things like that, where I forget what it's called. Hosting lists, right? Make a hosting list. Make what you would, bring to a party, or what you're gifting on New Year's. Are you bringing somebody champagne? What kind of champagnes are you bringing? What are the stores you're going to get those gift ideas, or home bringing gifts to a friend? Those kind of lists are really well going into the new year. But also, I want to focus on the fact that when you create a new list, it gets pushed out. So, for instance, I can go to my dashboard and I have 2 lists that were just created. They're not showing up at the top of the page here because something is going on. But when I posted those 2 lists, now I'm having to scroll. This is yesterday. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. But when I posted the 2 lists I'm thinking of is the apps list and the manly gifts list. Both those lists started going off. So something that I'm noticing lately for myself is when I post a new list, or if I add something to an old list, it gets pushed out. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be a holiday list to do that. So think of apps that you're using. Think about things that you're really interested in to push out onto this list. I'm just checking on YouTube for a second there. Okay, so what you're seeing in my dashboard here is chaos. So this is December 12th, and this is going through like all of my lists. This is also exterior to Benable. One of the things that I started noticing, and this is actually new coming up too, but probably about 3 weeks ago, I noticed Singapore coming into my profile every day. Every day, and going to a different list and several different lists. I have a feeling that I am being like watched, and not in a bad way, but I think that I'm definitely getting somebody to look at my account and kind of analyze it to see if my lists are good and how they can copy them. That's what I think this is. I think someone from Singapore is trying to copy my lists. That's all and fine. I mean, they have to do the work to create the lists. They also have to get onto the discovery feed. They also have to put their own links up. So whenever they go into my list and click an item, then it's going to give them a brand new link. So this doesn't worry me. They're not stealing from me. They're not doing, like, they're getting ideas from me, and nobody should be worried about that. This is actually helpful because whenever they click onto any of my lists, it pushes it out more. And so it pushes it onto the discovery feed. It gets other people to look at it. And that's where you're seeing some of this chaos. Is like somebody is going in every single day. See, Singapore, Singapore. Every day I'm going into a new list. Now, Boardman OR, which I don't know what OR is, but it's US, is starting to do the same thing. So I have those two places that are coming into the account and definitely going and looking at what's working. And I think part of that is because I have such a high following on Benable. People look to me because I have success. And I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to have to take 2 minutes just to get something to drink. It's that nasal drip. I also, guys, want to show you something. If I can find it. It was on the other computer. I can show you some data, which is really cool too. So right now you're seeing chaos because of that. They're legitimately coming through from Benable and coming and clicking through the discovery feed, which is really great as well. I will also note that people saving things, I save things. I've actually recommended people to save things. You have a bookmark section in your settings so that you can save other people's ideas from their list directly from Benable. So when I say that they're coming in and looking at my stuff, they're literally coming in, looking at the list, and potentially clicking it. They're saving it, things like that. If they're on the Benable side, they have a bookmark section for this. The fact that they're on the outside kind of lets me know that they're like creating some kind of like draft so that they don't want to be traced. They don't want to be from Benable because they know that their profile is going to show up that way. But honestly, there's nothing for me to worry about, because I don't think, like, they would come in, have this, and then when they click over to it, they would go and get their own link. So I have no worries at all about that, and it actually is helping me quite immensely, as you can see. So it is making it skewed for the data, though. I started making a data chart. So I'm going to try and see if I can pull that up. The question is I don't know where this data chart lives. So I'm going to assume that this data chart doesn't live in this browser. So I'm gonna open it up. Everything lives on Google Drive for me. So we're gonna open up Google. And I'm gonna see if it's in here. Benable. There we go. So I made this last week, and I did this during the workshop. The reason why I made this was because I wanted to see where all of my commissions were coming from, right? And one of the things that I find is lacking on Benable is the analytics side of things. They definitely have analytics over on Benable of who comes into your profile, where they're coming from, if they're from Benable or an outside source. But I wanted to see what lists were getting clicked, what lists I was getting sales on, what companies I was getting sales on from. So my top person or brand that I get sales from is Walmart. Hands down, it's Walmart. Hi. Yeah, you're safe. How are you? I love you.
You want to see how? Oh, you can't do that, I guess.
I can do it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you just gotta go downstairs for like 5 minutes.
Okay, what's downstairs? Okay, so in here, I was able to take everything that was in the commission chart and put it in here. So I have the lists that have been clicked. I have, the lists that have had a commission, the item that was sold, and well, the item that was clicked to then go over to the brand partner, and then I have the companies that have paid me in commission. So on this other side here, you can see that I have my top list is delicious yummies to binge. My next one is I want a snack mommy, and I've always said that is like my biggest list is I want a snack mommy. And actually, I didn't realize that delicious yummies to binge was a little bit higher than that. Excuse me. Then I have top board games, and then the must-have meds for a cold season, which actually makes sense because every time I'm sick, I make content around the cold flu season list. Now, the top people who paid me this past year is Walmart. They have paid me 79 commissions. 79 commissions in the last year and a half. Target has paid me 10. Barnes and Noble has paid me 10. The Home Depot has paid me 7. Etsy has paid me 6. And then there are others that are lesser than that. I have had over 404 US dollars paid out to me, and that is amazing to me.
Sounded like you said Timmy.
Timmy and not to me. So other brands that have paid me: Anthropologie, Sephora, Ulta Beauty, Lego, ColourPop. So
Feel a bit warm.
I'm definitely excited about expanding that and having more well-rounded brands connecting with them. Having 2 kids under 10, I do a lot of content around toys and things like that, but I also do a lot of family content, which is cool. I then expanded this into traffic. So this is if I can slide this over, people that are coming into my profile and what lists they're clicking. So this is what I get in my dashboard every single day, and I've been adding to this. I can see, who's coming from Benable, who's coming from outside, and what they're clicking. And this is also how I know that Singapore has been showing up quite a bit. I'm like, what is with the Singapore thing? But I also did charts on this. Whereas before Singapore started showing up, I truly believed that a lot of my clicks were coming from Benable. But with Singapore being involved, the outside source is like 47 compared to 38. So that tells me that it's getting pushed out onto Google a lot more, which is interesting. It means that the Google SEO is working. They apply Google SEO to your list once it's optimized. And the reason why I'm pinpointing Google is because when I go over to my Linktree, I get about 2 or 3 clicks a day from Linktree, but not 3 clicks that I get on Benable daily. Like I get 23 to about 28 clicks a day on Benable. Then I have the lists that are happening right now that are getting clicked, not necessarily sales, but they're getting clicks, and that's the Manly Man gifts I was mentioning. The other big one here is check out these apps. These are my 2 new lists, so it's getting an initial push happening on the app. And then we also have down here family recipes that I grew up with. So that could be because there are items in that list or links in that list that are not associated with an affiliate. Benable really pushes lists that have elements of non-affiliate links because they want a word-of-mouth platform and not an affiliate platform. This is really great if you have friends with businesses or you have businesses that you really, really love. You might not necessarily get paid, but you get to share that free traffic with them, which is really, really great. Now, that's a lot of data that I didn't have before that I'm excited about. So, with that data, I can see like making new lists is always important. What I like to tell people is make 2 lists a month. That way that your list is always showing up, or your profile is always showing up, and consistently getting new clicks and being on the discovery page quite frequently over on Benable. You're going to cut through the noise. There's 500,000 users on Benable. I can't tell you how many of them are dormant, but I can tell from the way that Benable the invites. So like for instance, I can show you how many actually even have a profile, right? Um, if it decides to load. Thank you so much for watching from YouTube. I don't want to look at your screen. Don't recommend. Well, we're doing a tutorial on Benable YouTube. So that's what we're trying to do. Every week on Monday, we do a tutorial on Benable. We also do a workshop on Wednesdays over on TikTok. So as you can see here, these people who don't have a profile aren't on Benable. So they come in, they try to poke around and see what it's about, and then they make an account, and some of them never ever return. And so part of those 500 users are people who are not active on the platform. That being said as well, I think that there's a lot of users as well that create an account to help other people out as creators, and they think that they have to have an account to click and do things. You only have to have an account if you want to like and comment. You don't necessarily have to have an account to click and go and find recommendations and see all the lovely things.
Can you buy it if you don't have an account as well?
Yeah, they can buy it if they don't have an account as well. But they don't have to have an account to like or comment. And I think a lot of people think that they do. And so they join because they want to help their friend. And then they just have an account because they have an account and they're not really doing anything with it. So that's kind of where we're at. My advice going into January is focus on 2 things. New Year's, so hosting, make a hosting list, make an outfits list, make a bring your gift to a friend list. I forget what that's called, like a home bringing gift. And make a list. What I'm thinking about right now is I already have one, and so I'm going to be adding to this list. But the home workouts, right? We're going into January. We're going into people working on their goals for the year. You could make workout lists. You could make a list about goals and how to do dream boards and things like that, and the tools that you need. So like if you're a stationary person, maybe you have a craft list that you can make that you can make commission on Michael's. So Michael's, Amazon is connected, Walmart is connected. You could definitely make a dream board list to get people to purchase the items that they need, to make a big billboard that's going to go into their room of all the things that they want this year. You could do a lot of different things. You could share videos that you're working on, right? So like I have a list in here for Benable that says teaching what I know about Benable, and I have YouTube in there, I have TikTok in there. So anything that you're working on trying to achieve, I would make a list about it. If you're trying to be a virtual assistant, I'm a virtual assistant. Work putting your goals, put a blog in there, show people the PLRs or the groups that you're in or the things that you're going to, right? Just because you're not getting paid for something doesn't mean that it's not valuable to somebody else, which will interact and help them come and view your other recommendations, right? all that being said, I hope this tutorial has helped a lot. I know I'm cutting it short a little bit today. I'm going to turn this camera around because I had a comment on YouTube saying they didn't want to see my computer. So I'm really, really appreciative of everybody that comes into my Benable. If you want to get started with Benable, it's really, really easy. You just need an invite code, which is BGYK6. It's also in my free guide, so I have a free guide for you to check out so that you can optimize really easily. The new app walks you through how to optimize, which is really great. Into the new year, there is, hey Rebound, into the new year, there is going to be potential with Benable clips. So all I know about that, thank you for the hurt me, thank you for the go popular. All I know about that is that they're transitioning their platform to be more social. What does that mean? Well, I've already heard whispers of messaging, so that might come to light. The big thing that they're testing right now is Benable clips, which means that we're going to be able to make videos in app that connect. Thank you so much for the roses. We're going to be able to make videos in app on Benable that connect directly with the things that we want people to buy. And so we're going to be able to make our own content that we do on TikTok and just create content that shows people what they like. One of the things that I am so adamant about with Benable, and which I'm hearing all over the place on TikTok right now, is if you're a parent, and this is why I get so stuck with it. If you're a parent who is at home with their baby and you have baby stuff all around you, I have 2 kids under 10. I have toys and things all around me. And
I'm 10.
well, yes, you're 10.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
I have 2 children.
Strict.
I have 2
Kids
children,
under 11.
and we have a whole bunch of stuff around the house that I can absolutely make content about, and I can tag these brands and I can put them on Benable. And when somebody sees that content and wonders where or how to buy it, they can go to Benable and look at those recommendations. The other piece of advice I would say on Benable would be to make a list of things that you use all the time. Like just things that you use, medicine, food. I have made so many sales. I made sales on celery. I made a sale on celery. I've made a sale on pop. Like those are the things that get me excited because I know that people are coming in and being like, "Oh, I need that." And then they click it. So the most sensible things, and anybody can do it. I'm not super special, okay? Anybody can do this. I will also say I have almost 15,000 followers. I only get 3 clicks, and I've still made 3 clicks a day on my Linktree, and I have still made $500, 404 USD dollars, so around $500 Canadian, doing this in the last 2 years. I keep getting told that's not a lot. It's still something. It's still something, and it's getting me in front of brands and opportunities to grow my content and actually feel like I'm doing something. So that is why I am so passionate about it, is because it's giving me the opportunity to grow as a creator and continue. And it's just one of those things that I truly, truly believe in. And it's not going to go away this year, especially with it being more social. We're going to have video content on Benable and potential messaging. Like, we're only going up from here. So, all that being said, my voice is going out. I hope that everybody has an amazing, amazing day. Check out the content. Check out the playlists. I hope that, you guys really... My goal this year, you want to know my goal this year? My goal is not... It's kind of all over the place for my goals. I have probably 3 goals. I have 3 goals for this coming year. That's 1, to get on more platforms and to be more present on those platforms. 2, actually, like, I don't have follower goals. ChatGPT thinks I can get to 50K this year. I don't think it's possible. But I do have engagement goals. I'm pushing right now to get 10 comments on all of my videos, 10 legitimate comments, not just emojis, on all of my videos. That is my current frustration. And then my 3rd goal is an income goal.
Yeah.
It is the same income goal that I have every year, and that is to get to 4K months. And that's between my virtual assistant, me doing Bunnable, me doing other things. I want to get there this year. So those are my goals I'm working towards. I have a hiccup happening at the beginning of January, which I will go into once we get there. I'm having to, kind of catch up. So I'm going to be working on how do we catch up, and I'm kind of going from there. And then once we get into the catch up phase, then it's just push, push, push. I'm working on an Upwork account, changing that up. I'm working on my virtual assistants, and I'm going hard on Bunnable and getting all of it in as many places as possible, because I really think that this is something that gives me residual income. It's not just like my content is going to live forever, right? It is going to cause residual income where people are going to click. And I really like the anonymity of it, or the anonymousness of it, where people don't feel like they have to be like, for instance, I don't feel like I will go to, somebody named Tyler and be like, hey, can you buy this thing? And then there's a Tyler that, doesn't show up in the thing because it just says Orlando, right? And I go, Tyler, you didn't buy it from me. None of that is there. I literally have complete random people coming into Bunnable and getting exactly what they want, and I get a kickback from that. I'm not getting them to purchase me something I'm not getting, you know what I mean? So those things are so feel good for me, of like, I know that person on the other hand is getting something that they want. There's no frustration for me because I don't have to deal with customer service. I don't have to deal with shipping. I just have to point them in the right direction.
You do also have one problem with your Venable.
What?
In some of your lists, you still put overpriced things in it.
Like what?
Remember that Christmas tree?
A Christmas tree is overpriced?
No, that was spinning with the lights and everything. That thing is
Uh-huh.
overpriced. Yeah, I just have no idea if anybody's gonna buy that.
That's okay. But it's really cool.
True.
Anyways, I have said goodbye probably 3 times now. I'm gonna go. Thank you everybody for coming in. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great day, guys.
I am not 10 anymore.